So these are the connecting rods that I got. I got them numbered. They are very, let me turn the light off here. They are very, very clean. These have just had minimal rinse. I mean, still see the stock numbers. So on the insides of these, there's a little bit of wear just from the old bearing. And what I'm basically going to do is see if the light makes it any better now. There we go. So you can see some of the scoring, not scoring, but just the wear pattern in there. What I'm going to do is I have some 800 grit wet sandpaper, very, very fine grit, so it doesn't actually take up material, it'll just take up surface stuff. So I'm going to wet this and wet sand it, and then I'll show you what they look like when you're done. Okay, so basically now, most of the stuff that's in there is just normal bearing wear. It's kind of burnt oil, so you're not taking any scratches or anything out. It's not real scoring, it's just oil that's been in there. And so nice and clean for the bearing inserts now. And on these bearings, you can insert the bearing here. You don't ever want to put an assembly lube in this part, because then that allows, the slicker you have it in here, the more tendency the bearing will have to spin. You want this dry and the back side of the bearing dry so that it kind of locks in and forms a suction and stays there. You want the lubrication on the inside of the bearing, so the bearings can be sitting in there. Then you'll lubricate the bearing because the crankshaft rolls around in there. That's the part you want lubricated. But as far as here and the bottom side of the bearing, you want that dry so that the surface is more a tight fitting, not lubricated, not susceptible to slipping. So that's one thing you always want to know when you do connecting rod cap bearings, main bearings. Same thing, never lube the back side of the main bearings and never lube this inside on the engine block.